We are live.
Live.
All right, it took us a minute. I think we're a minute behind schedule over here.
Worst things have happened.
Worst things have happened.
It's kind of our thing.
Guys, we're still trying to work on this live stream. I put the link up on my Instagram.
We fashionably right.
And who knows how the hell that worked. We have one viewer. That might be Tammy.
What's
Who knows?
up?
Okay. So we had some good fights last night.
Yes.
Some good fights. I have notes.
Thank goodness, because I was not taking notes. Sir.
Oh my God. I am in a Can I make a confession?
Always. Probably might be similar.
Okay. Why the fuck are the fights so late at night? Oh my God. 12:30 at night. And they were early during the day.
I don't understand.
There.
It's
but they scheduled
hard.
it late at night. Here, can't
Sometimes
they do
it's
it?
really hard.
Why don't they do a fight card 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and that's it and call it a day?
They're never going to, although I would like that, or 6 to 11 at latest, but it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm sorry. Like, I'm shocked. You know what the problem is? It's not, I didn't have a problem doing them until, because I was going out for most of the fights, so it was fine. So when the, whatever this is hit, I'm not even going to call it a pandemic, when this bullshit hit, now it's like hard for me to stay up in my house because I'm smoking the whole time, not the guy, but
I still wake up early too. So I still get up early.
I know.
And I'm like, the fights are so
You
late.
see me like this last night. I was like, main event.
Yeah, I watched 2 fights on the main card. Then I went to sleep, and then I watched Jimmy Rivera, Cody Stamen, which was a good fight.
Yeah, I watched that too.
That was a good fight.
That was a really
Good
good
grappling exchanges.
That was a really good fight.
And then I watched the last 3 fights this morning because it's just such a late night.
See you later.
Take care. We are live, so
Our live.
there's no bullshit.
No, we're just saying that we're
No,
live.
just saying right now. We have a live, not studio audience. I'm gonna take a hit of this. So yeah, so the fights were so late. I'm getting super high on the couch. I'm passing out there.
Yeah.
It's a late night. In person, yeah, it's a little easier to stay awake. Of course, it's easier. But
Way easier.
oh my God, it was just tough to stay up.
It was
That
a
being
lot.
said, great fights last
Yeah,
night.
the ones that I was.
Yeah, so let's
aware
go.
of
You want to
were
go
great.
main event down? You see the main event? Did you
I
watch it?
watched almost all of it, so yeah.
Yeah.
I might have caught the whole thing and just, again, been so ripped at that point and half asleep that I might have just been like, what?
Calvin Cater did it was good. I
He
thought
won,
it was,
right?
Calvin Cater won.
Okay. I thought so.
It was super competitive for the first 3 rounds, I thought.
Yes, I think that's actually, and I got like after the 3rd round, I was like, I can't keep my eyes open. Terrible.
You're terrible.
Terrible.
I don't want to say we're getting old, but
Well, I mean,
I need my
no, I
beauty
was
sleep.
really high. That was my problem. Because it was just, there was a lot going on, so I just was like, okay, tonight's just going to be like an eat an edible and see what happens night. So
Guys,
the fights, I did watch the Molly McCann, and I can't remember who she fought.
Molly McCann.
She lost, and she usually doesn't look that, like, I don't want to say outclassed and sound like a dick, but she usually looks a lot better in a fight, Molly McCann, and it's actually like kind of sucked to see that. I like her. I'm a fan.
There was another good girl fight. I think the first fight of the card,
Mhm.
Joju.
Yeah.
Joju.
Yeah.
She caught a beautiful armbar. She pulled guard,
Mm-hmm.
and she had the better ground game. Sometimes I feel like if you have a great jiu-jitsu game,
Yeah.
and you're not doing good on the feet, why not pull guard? It's almost.
I know.
Oh, and there was weird stand-ups too. Dudes were like side control last night and getting stood up. Hold on, I took
It
notes.
was weird. I
was
feel
a-
like the Fight Island's just a little different.
Lazaz versus Al Hassan had the quickest stand-ups I've ever seen.
Mhm.
He took the guy down. The guy had him in like a guillotine choke,
Mhm.
and he was on top and side control, and they stood him up like 2 or 3 times.
Mhm.
So it was really sketchy how fast they were standing everyone up.
Yeah.
Like it's almost.
They want to see a bloodbath.
Hold on, I have a theory.
They want to see a
No,
bloodbath.
I don't even think it's that. I think that they're trying to like favor the odds. So let's say the betting's heavy. This
A
is
lot
just
of
a
people are
theory.
thinking that. No, you're not the only
This
one.
is just a theory. Let's say you're betting heavy on a guy who's like more of a stand-up
Mm-hmm.
person, and he gets taken down. the ref might be encouraged to stand them up quicker. I don't know, but it looked really weird how quick they were standing these fights up.
All the fights there have been a little.
The judging, especially.
Well, without a question.
The judging's been terrible. Yeah. The judging last week was awful. Saturday.
The reffing, too, hasn't been great either. We were talking about that. The reffing's been like.
But I think it's skewed to an outcome, or else why do that? Why stand them up so quick in one fight?
Yeah.
And the same ref letting them go longer in another fight.
And there you go.
You know what I'm saying? The same ref.
Yeah, then there's a pattern. It's different when it's one thing, but when you're starting to see a pattern coming out of that.
Or not a pattern. Why is the ref?
That's what I'm saying. The chaos in the pattern is he's letting one go at one point and standing them up. That it almost break in the pattern shows you there is one. It shows you that there's something not right going on. If that makes any weird sense.
Otherwise, you would just be like, this ref likes to stand you up quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Got you. He's a quick stand.
Oh, I forget who I heard is big on that. And Alicia Zapatello was telling me. I'll ask her. There's a ref.
There's a ref that might stand you up quick. Mm-hmm. And I thought with the crowd, it's been less of that, especially in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Because without the crowd, they'll let them work on the ground a little bit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the crowd will influence the ref.
I think so. I think you see that.
Let's say two guys are on the ground. Ref, stand them up. And they'll twist his,
Eventually.
And then, woo! And then the woo goes through the crowd. And you're like, all right, the ref stands them up. Whereas if there's no crowd, you might let them fight longer on the ground because no one's influenced. And you see them working.
Something to be said for that.
So there's something to be said for that. But on Fight Island, it almost looks like it's skewed.
Well, you said there's like a small audience there.
You see, there's like a
small dignitaries and shit. People that got money. It's crazy.
Listen,
you have money
motivates. So there's a lot of betting.
Money talks. It's so true.
So if there's a lot of betting going on, you never know.
Well, who was the guy that dropped? Was it 20 grand on
30 grand on that girl? She won, right?
No, I thought she lost.
No, she won. It was like the young girl. She was like 19 or 20. What's the name?
There's been a couple. It was announced during the fight. It was like somebody just dropped,
Someone dropped 30 grand on this girl,
and would have walked away with like a ridiculous amount of money. I can't remember what it was, but
no, I think it was the girl that won though, because he took a picture with her at the airport.
Oh,
I forget her name. She's young too.
It was like the other night, right?
Yeah, it was last week.
I can't remember.
They've been doing a lot of fights. That's the only thing. I know UFC is trying to make their quota.
I get that, but it's hard for us.
Which I get. Who's in here? We got. Hey, what's going on, Roos? What up? We got Russia in the house. All right, now we're international. I don't know if they're quarantining them in Russia. I think Russians might be too tough for coronavirus.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
I don't know. In Siberia, I heard
it's rugged. Bears.
Huh?
They fight bears. Right?
They fight bears.
You can fight a bear. They ain't gonna quarantine you down. You know what I mean? You're not gonna take that shit.
Although the numbers in Russia are funny.
I don't think if they try to pull that again, I really don't think you're gonna see a lot of people fall into line, especially in New York. You're gonna see some.
I don't know. New York City. See, you're not in the city.
No, and I keep telling people that. I'm like, you guys don't understand. I'm like, you're seeing this through rose-colored glasses because you're not stuck there.
I'm in Brooklyn. It's rough. It's rough in Brooklyn. I mean, everyone is like very conscious. One of my friends came in from Chicago and she was in Brooklyn for like 2 days. She was like, wow, they're really taking this shit seriously here. And she's from Chicago where they took it very seriously there too.
Exactly.
So New York is way, New York City, I should say.
Well, when my friend saw Homeland Security this morning in Huntington at the mall, that scared her a little bit. So
I mean, I told you, I've been seeing the weird environmental police around too.
There's a lot of weird shit going on.
And in Brooklyn, tons of shootings. There's been more shootings in my neighborhood than ever in my life.
Last week they had one of the most violent nights they've ever had in the city.
Yeah, and 8 of those shootings were in my neighborhood, Carrie. 8 were in my neighborhood.
I know it sounds like stupid, but
listen,
it's scary.
I can't go outside with my nephews if the sun is down.
No.
You got to stay in. It's becoming like martial. That's why they want to bring in martial law because they're going to make it so crazy.
They're going to, but I don't think it's going to. We're getting way off topic.
We're way off topic, Karen.
Yeah, we did. How fast did that happen?
Yo, shit gets
0 to 60. I don't even know how it happened.
Fuck, I don't remember.
How did we get into
I don't remember. But listen, back to the fights.
Is like always on. We could talk about how it affects fighters.
It definitely does.
What it's going to do, considering now they have the class action lawsuit. Is that going to do anything?
There's a class action lawsuit in New York City with trainers
They
because
should.
Cuomo said he won't even open the gyms here until
Not for a long time. It's not even in phase
not
4.
even in phase 4.
Yeah.
It's like after
And
all
that
the
shows
phases.
something that you can go. Okay, so this is their first argument is that you shouldn't have large crowds or whatever in a public place. Gyms are not public places.
That's true. I didn't
You
even think
cannot
about that. It's a private
walk
gym.
into a gym as a person without having any kind
It's not
of
a bar.
membership. Exactly. So you're telling me you'd rather have people walking into Walmart, which is a complete shithole, into Target, another shithole.
Costco.
I'm sorry. Wall people are just gross in general.
Costco is packed.
BJ's, all those places are filthy. There's no sanitizing. I heard they have something in the mall now that they're doing, like it's a sanitizing thing, station thing, whatever. But they need to be able to open gyms because why can't people stay healthy? Why, that's a major issue for me. I don't like this.
Yeah, why don't you want people to be healthy?
That's the first thing I would want. If it's good for you to be healthy and it helps you clearly get over the virus or be able to fight it, because you see that with athletes and most young people that get it either.
Show me one healthy athlete that's died, right? Like, show me a healthy
They're
dude.
going to skew it and they're going to go, oh, well, we got to stop again, right?
We got to stop. They're going to say, oh, well, you got grandma sick.
I know, and they're going to turn around and pull the
Oh, don't pull the YouTube.
They'll be like, you're doing this.
Oh, hold on. I do want to shout out Jared Gordon.
Yes.
Flash Gordon. He looked great.
He needed that. It was awesome. And for himself more than anything. And not that he takes losses very well, too. So.
But he dominated that fight.
He did.
Used a lot of jiu-jitsu and a great grappling, which, of course, I love to see. He's a great guy, Jared.
He really is, and he's got great grappling.
I know he trained at Henzo's before. Yep. I think it was really tough for him to get to 45. But if he can safely again, I mean, that's a good weight class.
But he's had an up and down with that, so I understand why.
It's fucking tough to make weight. No one understands how hard it is.
And that's the problem. And you get general people that are sitting there eating McDonald's going, oh, that motherfucker missed weight. It's like, are you serious?
I mean, I don't like to miss weight. I mean, I don't like to see someone miss weight.
Who doesn't?
I think his opponent missed. So Jared not only came out with the win, but then he got 20% of his opponent's purse, which is always great. Yeah, I always pray that my opponent's going to miss weight by like 2 pounds, just so I can fucking get 20% of his purse. If you miss weight by a lot,
I've heard fighters get mad when the other fighter wants to take part of their purse. It's like,
it's the rules.
It's the fucking name of the game, man. Like, isn't like you're.
Suffer.
Look, right, as a fighter, and this is any fighter that wants to like jump in a cage or a ring or whatever. Your job is to make weight and fight, right? Get in there and make weight, and to win, obviously.
There's 3 parts of the fight to me: training camp, the weight cut,
and making weight safely is a
and the
thing
fight.
For me. Yes,
right. I give myself a passing grade as long as I make it through training camp and make my weight. I passed.
That's huge.
And then the fight.
That's the biggest part.
And listen, if you win the fight, that's all 3, of course.
Yeah, no, but to be able to walk in there and, okay, I actually did it. I was able to do this. I was able to do it on point. Nobody could take that away from me. That's your job.
When you make a real weight class, it's like that's what I'm getting paid for.
That's the best part. So
I get paid to show.
I feel there's something huge to be said for that. And I feel like, I guess because you, like me, want a merit-based anything, that, like, if you don't make weight, maybe there is something to be said for, the having a penalty for it, because it's a merit-based system. The other person did make weight, so they should get.
You should get penalized.
Yeah, because sometimes you see a fighter that didn't make weight and they murk the person, and it's like, well, who was it that they were like, did she even try?
Which is what happens.
Did she even try to make weight? I forget who it was.
Oh, someone came in over 5 pounds.
I can't remember. They literally said, did she even try? Like
5 pounds. I remember it being a 5 pound one.
I forget who it was.
Was it Mackenzie Dern at one fight?
Yes.
Yeah. Before she had a baby. She's actually more disciplined now.
Now she is, oddly enough. It was before she had the baby, and they were like, did she even try? Now, mind you, she's a thick girl to begin with. She's always been a thick girl. She, and I think, training for jiu-jitsu tournaments, correct me if I'm wrong, is a little bit different in that respect with the weight cutting and all that. So I'm sure you have to transition and get used to it. Although she did have a lot of fights under her belt before she went to the UFC. So I'm glad there's something they're ironing out for her, because I like her a lot. She's got a good personality.
And she dropped the weight class.
She's a really good looking chick. I hate to say that. That girl should just run with her looks. She could back it up too. So it's like,
she has great
jiu-jitsu.
jiu-jitsu.
She trains with Benson Henderson, right?
I forget what camp she's out of, but she has great jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
I know she's beat that.
Her hands are getting better.
I think having a kid was great for her.
I do too.
Which is crazy. Sometimes,
Mama bear.
It could go either way, yeah. And I think for some people, guys too.
Yeah.
Some guys, like once they have a kid, they become super dad and they don't want to fight.
That was great when he was on a tear right after
the kid. That like motivated him, right? Exactly. He was like, "Oh, I got to put some money in the bank for
and
the
he's
kid."
had a couple losses, but at the end of the day, you're gonna go in there. You're gonna go hard. You're gonna want to go hard. You're not gonna, especially when you have a kid. You know, you got to put money in your kid's mouth and on the table.
You put money in his kid's mouth. I know what you mean. Yeah, you got to put money. Yeah, he wants.
On the table.
He wants to stack some
food
money
in his kid's mouth, money on the table. There you go.
Oh, I have an interesting
Whatever. I'm a little high, so I don't know.
Money. So this is an interesting experiment. They try to teach a monkey, chimpanzee, how to use money.
Didn't they teach one how to recognize and distinguish words?
Well, you can teach them sign language. Yeah. So they try to teach them money, right? They try to teach them the value of money. So they give this monkey a bill. They give this monkey a bill, and if he gives you the bill back, you give him a banana.
Okay.
And you do this 100 times, and he's like, "Okay, I give you this bill, you give me a banana."
Yep.
Then you give him a bigger bill, and then you give him like 5 bananas, and you teach him that 100 times.
Can distinguish between the money?
Then they get to a point where they put 50 bananas, and then they give him a bill, and the monkey's like, "Oh shit!" He's looking at the bananas, he's looking at the bill, he's looking at bananas, and he eats the bill. He eats the money. Because his brain is like, wait, this thing is so valuable.
Wow.
If you want to give me 50 bananas. So it's hard to teach them the concept of money. So humans are interesting animals like that.
That is wild.
How we can value money as energy.
And there's certain people that definitely can't, which is really funny. When I meet people that cannot, adults that can't, that like have zero clue about money and the value of dollars. Look, I have in my past, but like I've learned what to put that into. Like you're not going to take it to your grave, right? You're never going to take money to your grave. You're going to pass it on to somewhere. So that's what my thing is, and it's at least if you're putting it into something good and you ain't smoke crack.
I don't have kids, so I got to spend it all here.
Yeah.
So I bought new gloves. I got the Thor hand wraps. Then I got the R2D2 gloves. I'm going to get a pair of Italian leather. Oh yeah, Steamroller. We were just talking about how good Jared Gordon looked.
Yes.
It looks really good. Really good. Especially Fishgold is like a black belt. It's supposed to be a good grappler, and Jared Gordon worked him on the ground. I mean,
he's got a great ground game.
I know. Fishgold didn't make weight. He was saying that he didn't feel good because he didn't make weight. But hey, that's part of being a professional.
We were just talking about this. What do you think? I'm all for the penalty. You miss weight, you get 20% taken in your purse given to the other fighter.
At least. Yeah.
I agree. And I think that the more weight that you miss, the penalty should be more. And I know people are going to get mad. People get mad when I say that shit, but it is what it is.
No, you should.
It is what it fucking is. You know, every job. I mean, the only job that you don't get penalized for being wrong all the time is a weatherman. Apart from that, if you do your job and there's something wrong, you're going to, at least in a good world, you should have some kind of repercussion.
Well,
in a normal world, you should. It shouldn't be participation trophies for everybody.
That fight of the night, it was Alessandro, the fight of the night. It was fight of the night, but the guy didn't make weight, so he didn't get his 50 grand.
No. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yo, you forfeit your bonuses if you don't make
weight. You don't get a bonus.
So nobody gets that bonus. It doesn't go to
they gave it to another 50 grand to somebody who finished.
All right.
Oh, that's crazy. So
well,
big penalization.
I mean, there should be.
It's hard to make weight. It's hard. It's part of the sport.
And I can imagine. If you don't make weight. I've watched, you watched the, Cyborg's weight cut. Even Misha Tate had a really bad couple that they filmed. It's tough.
Cyborg, they torture that fucking girl. They made her make 141 pounds. It's not even a weight class. Why'd they torture that girl? They made her do 140. Remember that?
They hate her.
Well, she had a tough situation. Like she didn't have the right weight class. You got to find. That's what the amateurs are for. You got to find the right weight class. You got to learn how to cut the weight the right way. And she was always like a big girl, and they didn't have that.
She should be fighting at 155.
145-pound girls. Yeah, maybe, but there isn't that many.
No, there's like
Kayla Harrison.
Now they're skating the lines between 145 and 155.
There's one.
There's 1 1/4. 1 1/4, and that's it.
They populate those heavier girl weight classes.
Oh, yeah.
I think the most stacked girl division is 115. No, there's not a lot of big girls. You weigh 115.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's not, like, think about it.
And that's what I walk around at.
if a girl weighs 170,
Yeah.
she's going to cut to 145. And
which
how
is
many
insane.
female athletes are 170? Not a ton, right? That's why those weight classes are so sparsely.
Yeah, no, I don't think they're 170, but I think they're.
Amanda Nunes is 170, 175. I bet if you called her right now, she's a buck 80. I bet you right now she's a buck 80.
That's insane.
I would bet you $100.
That's crazy.
She's a buck 80.
Well, I know
right
that
now.
Cyborg
Buck
is
75.
like,
July 16th. All right, step on the scale. Tell me what you weigh.
we want to know.
All right, Steamroller. I bet you
Essentially.
weigh more than Steamroller. What do you weigh? 175?
Yo,
I'm probably waking up like 176, 177. We're
Okay.
on point, baby. We're on
The-
point.
only
Yeah,
female
you're
that
right
I
there.
ever want to see fight a guy is Gabby Garcia. That's it. Apart from that, because she's up there, nobody can fight her.
She's like 220.
Height wise, the only female I think that could take her height wise is Megan Anderson. She's really, 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 really tall.
I'd
She's
like
like
to
a
see-
giant amongst women.
She's
tall.
tall.
She's a tall
There's
lady.
something really sexy about
And she's
that.
her legs are
Tatted
like
up.
they go up to everywhere.
There's
I was up
something-
to her shoulder when I met her. I was literally like maybe even shorter than her shoulder. I'm like, wow, that's
Okay.
really, like,
There's
crazy.
something I find very attractive about Megan Anderson. Tall, tatted,
she's a good looking chick.
white as snow.
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's good. She's got.
I got a
you know,
little
she's
bit
got-
of
there's,
crush.
There's not a lot of
Little
girls that can
A
do
little
that
bit.
white as snow thing and not look like they're like see through. You know.
A little crush. Also because as a short guy, a tall girl, there's a lot of room to fit in. Yeah.
But you know, when I saw her, she didn't look like she needed to cut a lot. She walked around in great shape. Like,
Oh, you think she's always lean?
absolutely. I've seen her
Yeah.
in person. She's always lean. At
She
least
can't
lean
make
enough that she
35.
probably doesn't do a heavy weight.
She
cut.
can't make 35 though.
No, she's
Or
too
45. You think maybe she's like 160 and then cuts a few pounds?
low. Yeah,
Yeah,
she doesn't
that
look.
might- you
She
might
does
be
not
right.
look like she's big. She looks like she's always in shape. And I've seen her do photo shoots at a fucking tattoo convention where, you know, she looked like she was about to get in a cage ready. She looked phenomenal. So yeah,
So
no,
she
I don't
stays
think.
in shape.
I think I know a couple of females that stay close to their
She's a true
close to their
45.
weight. Yeah, she is.
So going back to those fights, did you see Jimmy Rivera's fight?
Yeah,
Great fight too.
He
I-
needed that win. He
I
was
was
coming
just gonna
off
say
of
that.
2
Yep.
losses. Right?
He
Yeah.
did. And he's such a nice guy.
Cody
Jimmy's a
Stamen
nice
looked good in
dude.
that fight too. He edged him out. They almost were very evenly matched at a
Yeah.
few points. They went technique for technique.
You can almost see
Like
that
one
in
guy
the
threw the
match.
technique,
You know,
and then he threw
Yeah.
the other.
you know what I
technique.
think's interesting? All these fighters who are doing quick turnarounds are losing.
I said that there's something to be said
I mean,
between your fights.
Yeah, like I get it. The opportunity right now to get a bunch of fights in is good, but
Yeah.
like you got to be smart about it.
Absolutely.
I know like a lot of these guys are like Kelleher, Stamen,
Yeah. And he had a great
Roosevelt.
fight, but not that this wasn't a great one, but he had a great one before that. And there was a female that had 2 fights and lost back to back.
Yeah, they get big wins and then
Yeah.
they get that call back like
Yeah.
3 weeks later.
Hannah Seifers lost
and,
twice.
and they jump. It's good to
Yeah.
jump at that opportunity, but I mean it's tough to come. You know, you get that big win, you
Some of
probably
these
take a
people are
week
taking
off.
on like 2 weeks. The Kelleher was what, like 3 weeks? In
Yeah,
between
it's
80
3
less?
weeks.
It was insane.
I think it was
It
3
was insane.
weeks. But yeah, I think that's something that being
Yeah.
said that
Yeah.
these quick turnaround guys. It's either it's a big win
I would
or,
think
or
about
it's, Yeah,
Yeah, I would think about that if I was people because you'll literally see the statistics in a couple weeks about how many people are taking, how close they're taking fights. I've actually seen it happen. A couple of my friends, females, that I'm not gonna, I'll be like, I jump fights too soon, but yeah, it's like. You
it
should've
sounds
waited a little
great.
bit.
Like
yeah.
I'm
Well, who doesn't
Oh
want to?
yeah, I'm gonna stack up fights. but
No
it's not
fighter is
good,
gonna
yeah.
not want to do it. No
Yeah.
fighter is gonna say no to a fight.
I'd love to
you
get
know?
like a nice first round finish, no injuries in August, and
Yeah.
then turn around September.
September.
We'll see.
Yep.
We'll see.
And I mean, the opportunity to do that is there.
And you're getting paid in,
Yeah.
in a time like this. So
Yep.
it's definitely
Couldn't be a
good.
better time
Yeah.
to do that. Yeah.
I don't think you're taking into account how much weight cutting
Yeah,
takes
that
out
too.
of your body.
I know. No,
So
that's what I'm
would,
saying. It's a
would
lot.
Stamen have beat Rivera
On
in a
couple
very
more.
close fight if he, had 2 months in between the last fight?
I
I
think
don't
so.
know. This is all speculation.
Well, of course.
but
But
it must be hard on your body. It's hard.
back to back? Of course
Back
it
to
is.
back.
Of course it is. I say
Plus,
that
you
all
have
the time.
to. I think the only
You
reason
can
you
see
could
the
get
wear
away.
and tear, especially on women more than men, from going back to back and even like too many weight cuts in a year. You can see the wear and tear on women before you can on men. Although that's not true because when I first met Jared Gordon, I thought he was close to my age.
Yeah, well, he's been through some shit.
I thought he was
He's been
close to
through some
my
shit,
age.
though.
But he's fought forever, you know what I mean? So it's not
Yeah.
even just that. But there's, it's true. It ain't just you. But you know what? I'm not going to want to be a hand model. Nobody's going to want to be a model in their older age. So,
Hold on.
It is what it is.
Back to the only reason I think you could get away with it now is because guys aren't doing full real camps.
That's true. That's
like
true.
if you don't. So sometimes you need to recover just from
That's
your camp.
true.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you're exhausted from. Let's say your fight was easy. You still sometimes need to take a month off because you're tired from camp.
The adrenaline dump alone. I mean, for me, I always need like a week to reset, and then I get back going. And get the process going. But that's me. I know everyone's different. I know, like out in Thailand, they fight every month, and that's just the way of life.
That's like
They don't do hard camp though. Like camp isn't like
it's a way of life out there.
That's also like
remember
back-to-back
wrestling's different
fights
too.
with PFL and PFL is the only one that's done tournament style fights like that in a long time, and you
They
can
do
see
2 fights in a night, right?
Yeah, but you could see that it's too. I feel like there's far too much time in between, and you could see the adrenaline. You could just see they come out one round look great, the next round some of them except for Lance Palmer is the only one that like pristine through every. He could wait like 2 hours in between. It doesn't matter because he's a wrestler and that's how
he's ready.
they're
to go
used to
all the
that.
time.
That guy is just phenomenal to watch.
And he might be a guy that just
the party
always.
and his dad is so cool. Your dad and his dad would get along so well.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the loudest guy in the loudest guy in the arena. You can hear him.
I'm happy that Steamroller didn't try to attack me today. It's nice that I didn't have to
Bulldozer
defend myself.
He's not here yet.
Yeah. So I didn't have to defend myself from the bulldozer.
That'll be next week.
Oh, but
Monday.
Jimmy Rivera edged him out. Good, Cody Stamann was trying to take him down. I thought it was a really good competitive fight. That fight was good. And Danny Gay, Calvin Kattar, I found very entertaining.
Yeah,
I found that
good.
Kattar's good. He had a nice uppercut.
Boxing.
Yeah, great boxing. And he was throwing that spinning back kick. He landed twice with it.
Yep.
And Danny Gay had some good combos too.
As nails.
So tough, my God. But he had a good combo. He just went jab, right hook to the body, left hook, brought it up, and he was landing with it. Like he had a very simple stand-up game that he was implementing very well, especially the first 3 rounds.
Game plan. See, that's why I don't remember if I saw the last two.
I think 4 and 5, Kattar really just
decision?
came around
Okay,
with it. Yeah, Kattar just came away with it. Ige was trying to take him down. Ooh, Kattar did something nice too. He was going to get taken down, and he jumped back to avoid the takedown. Like he had one leg.
See, that wild shit works sometimes.
That
Being wild works sometimes.
I mean, there's a place to be wild.
There's something to be said for it.
Because it totally threw
if you
off
have the
the
opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
It could throw anybody off.
It
really.
throws you
If
off.
Somebody that's like.
It definitely throws you off. What do we got? Bellator coming back
Yes.
July 24th.
Yes,
The headline for that.
I'm going to apply for the last
Sergio Pettis, Ricky Bandejas.
Oh, that'll be a fun fight.
I like
Ricky's. I've
So
interviewed
that's
him.
a
He's a lot of fun
135.
anyway. He's a good personality. Like he's definitely.
He looked good.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
He's been looking good. And Sergio Pettis
I
at
like him too,
135 in Bellator looks
Yeah.
good.
Who else did I have? Anybody else listed yet? I don't know. Aaron Pico's going to be fighting on that card.
Aaron Pico's fighting Slate Lee Jr.,
And
the
he's
one that
had-
just beat Gaston Bolanos.
Yeah. If he's such a talent. Aaron Pico's such a talented guy. He just has to rein it all in.
I think
He's so young, though. He's young. They signed him at 16 fucking years old. He's the youngest sign they ever had.
They gave him very stiff competition,
They
very
did
quick.
right away. Yeah, but you know what? I think that Scott was saying that he, wanted to see if he could hold up, and he said he's young. He's definitely. He just needs to get more experience.
I would have groomed him just a little more.
I think
you know
so.
why? I think Aaron Pico in sparring is kicking everyone's ass.
Yes.
And that's why you watch him. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a young kid in sparring with the 16-ounce gloves, headgear, right?
He's good.
He probably
no doubt.
looks.
He's really
no,
good.
he's good. I'm just saying. I bet you
No,
sparring.
I think he was settled. Those
And he's got
fights
that
were
look
right
too.
fights for him.
He's got that
signed-
look too.
He's signing with Bellator. You find for Bellator.
At 16, he signed.
Yeah, but he's got that wrestling pedigree and
listen, he
and
has
that's
some
the fight
good.
game.
Yeah.
He's won some great fights.
Yeah.
Some
I'm
great
trying to find the
finishes,
Bellator
It's-
card. It's hard.
and he's lost.
It's like
some
anything
fights.
else.
That's
You're
the
going to win,
fight
you're going
game.
to lose. Exactly. And you know what? He doesn't take it personally. He is literally like one of the most calm, cool, and collected people that I've ever seen. Like before a loss, after a loss, like people will ask him about his last loss before his fight, which I think is so inappropriate. Press people, don't do that. That's just rude. You don't get into somebody's loss when they're about to get into a cage.
Yeah, that's what everyone
Don't
wants to ask
do
you.
it.
I know,
But I don't
everyone
like
wants to
that.
ask
I
you.
think it's just why are you trying to get somebody's
not getting into the
headspace
connection
into their
to Bellator.
past? Don't get their headspace into that. They're trying to look for. Just don't do it. Press people.
Aaron Pico does his camp now at Jackson Wink.
He's been for a while. Yeah.
He looked good in that Adam Bork's fight too. Like,
Yes, he
came
did.
up short the third round. He got caught, but 2
Was that
rounds
who
he
I
was
made cry?
dominating.
I made somebody cry at it might have been Adam Bork's, and I remember they were like, dude, you just made him cry. I'm like,
What would you tell him?
that's been my goal. That's
What'd
been
you
my
say?
goal in MMA to Barbara Walter somebody to get a fighter to cry. Oh, I just asked him what it was like to like fight in front of a crowd like that, and you know what did the win mean to him, and he literally just like bawled out. They were all like, "You made him no, it might have been him. It was somebody, but it was like badge of honor
Sometimes
for me.
it feels good.
Badge
to
of honor for me.
You asked the right
Total
questions.
I do. And it's funny because you hear people typically ask the same kind of question and over and over and over and over again. That's why I think more fighters should get into press and into all that stuff, because you guys have such a different take on it that like you might get a better response. That's why I like asking about personal stuff. So
Yeah.
I have
There's
something I
USI
want to talk
fighting.
about. I have something I want to talk about. Did you see that? Who's Khabib's manager?
Ali.
yeah, he's always in trouble.
Did you see that he was like he doesn't want his fighters to talk to Ariel Helwani? Isn't that funny? What do you guys think about that? So
That's so
Ariel
silly.
Helwani has had problems
He
before
gets banned from everybody.
with
Everybody hates on him
fighters.
so hard.
Yeah, I remember when he first started doing that.
Yeah. He gave up his entire career to do MMA. He could
To
have
do
done anything.
MMA, yeah.
He
I
has
understand.
serious credentials, more than
Oh,
all
yeah.
of us.
And I remember when he first started doing.
Man,
I didn't say that. He's got more credentials than any journalist out there in MMA.
The journalists, it's like Ariel and then Brett Okamoto. Those are the two top.
Brett's awesome. He breaks a lot of stories,
Yeah.
and then
That's what it seems
Ariel
like.
talks about them. I've watched how they do their little. It's really actually funny. You see I see it on Twitter.
So
see
I
what
guess
they do.
I'm not an Ariel fan because I remember when he first started doing MMA,
Yeah.
and he was so irksome with the fighters. Like you could tell the guy's never like done a camp or like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's like a journalist. He's
Yeah.
never experienced anything
No, he's a
combat.
true journalist.
He's never experienced anything combat related
Mhm.
other than being a spectator.
Yeah.
So he'll say something to a fighter, and I remember especially back
Almost
in the day,
inappropriate. Like
it was
shouldn't
super
really-
cringy. Yeah, I remember being super cringy with like Nick Diaz and Quentin Jackson.
You also gotta know.
"Go
You
fuck
also
yourself."
have to know your audience, and a lot of press people.
He's
That's
gotten
their
better.
biggest problem.
He's gotten better now, but
I just sit back and laugh at a press conference because I'm like, you just literally said the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Like,
but they have
and
no
you can hear me
experience, so it's
sometimes
fine.
you could hear me in the background mocking people. I'm like, really? Like you could totally hear me on somebody's interview. It's so care. If you're gonna say something really inappropriate and stupid, and they all have every single I'm like, why would you bring that up? It's just rude. Like there's certain things you have to have an etiquette, and you have to have, and even Ariel, everybody, you have to have an etiquette, and you have to have some kind of integrity where there's certain things you just.
But I think they don't even fucking know because they have no experience in it.
No.
Like they do something, they'll say something, and they have no idea.
No, and I'm not gonna call him out because
Oh.
we're actually good friends now. But dude, I used to yell at him all the time, like, "Yo, can you like ever shut up and give everybody else like, yo, this guy would say was stupid." Love him, but I'm not gonna call him out.
Don't call them out.
No,
We
gotta
don't-
be nicer.
No
than that.
call outs yet, not like we did the other day.
No,
Although you know what,
That
I
was
put up
good.
that video
liked
for
it.
the call outs. But hold on, I will tell you what came out of it.
What's that?
A good fight that would actually make sense.
Yeah,
Ally Aquinta versus Nate. So
That would make
MMA
a lot of
Spectator
sense.
was like, that could be a
That
fight
makes a lot of sense.
that can make sense. At
it would be
155,
fun.
they're two old school
Yeah,
real
it would be
fighters. Right? What does Nate say? Like real G's.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
one to
yeah,
me
yeah.
is more G than Al.
No.
Took the
He's
fight,
awesome.
did the best against Khabib anyone's done. Listen, he
He's
came
so much
he came
fun.
up short
He's
in that
so much
count.
fun to watch.
I love
He really
Al.
is.
He's-
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I'm such an Al fan. As a fight fan,
Yeah,
I'm an Ally Aquinta fan. Yeah.
Can I tell you a good story about
You know
him?
what I mean? Like as a fan, separate from as a
Oh, yeah.
training partner, I'm a fan.
I got to tell you a good story about one of my friends that's now Nicole. She's now a fight fan. It took her a while. She was at the pool tournament. It took her a while to get into it. And we went to combat at the Capitale, and Al was sitting like right next to us, but he was kind of just standing there watching. And Nicole, you could see her face just like trying to watch through him. And all of a sudden he turns around and she was giving him like the ice grill. And I'm like, oh, dude, like, you really need to chill out. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get in your way. And she was just like, who is that? I'm like, that's Ally Aquinta. And she's like, I'm like, you just gave him like the meanest
Raging Al.
look I've ever seen. And she's like, but he was so nice about it. I'm like, yeah, you didn't have to be
It's
a
just
dick.
like a top 5
So-
lightweight in the world.
Yeah, it's the
I
top
know.
five
And I'm like,
lightweight.
look at my I'm like, dude, I
That
can't
dude-
take you anywhere. No, but he
that
was
dude just
so
took 5 rounds
fucking
of codeine,
cool, and
that's
he
all.
was so nice to her. And she was like, dude. Now every time she sees him on the TV, she's like, I sat next to him. I'm like, you did, Joe. It's great. It's
So we got fights again on Saturday. We got
Yes!
a title fight on Saturday
I'm
too.
so excited.
What do we got
Who do you
coming
think is
up
going to win?
Saturday?
Benavides, or I can't pronounce it. Figueroa.
Figueroa.
I almost had it.
Yeah, I can't believe they're doing that rematch right away. Like
I know.
I mean, listen, Benavides got knocked out the last
everybody
time.
likes
Figueroa,
Benavides. Why are you good? Why are you doing that again to Benavides?
Figueroa
Yeah.
looked monstrous. Can Figueroa make weight?
Yeah, that's the real. That's the
And
real
if he
match.
can't, they should just honestly, they shouldn't not have a title. They should just, if he doesn't, they should hand it to him.
Automatically just give it to
Yeah,
Benavides. They want him to be the champ
Absolutely.
anyway.
He's got such good personality.
And he's tiny. He's legitimately.
He's
like,
perfect for that
legit
weight class.
125.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I
he
seen him.
actually is. Yeah.
I seen him at the performance center, and he was half of me.
Yeah, he's
You
a,
know,
He was a tiny guy.
he's a true 125.
he's a
There's
true
Yeah.
125.
not many of those guys.
No, I'm
Because
a
even
fan.
Cejudo's big.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
Cejudo's thick.
Cringy. Do you
I
think
love
he's ever going to
Cejudo.
make a comeback just because?
He wants that 145
Well,
one fight. He
alright.
wants to be the belt collector.
I love
I
that
think
name. I love
he's the
calling
belt
people that
collector. Well, he is, no
I love
joke.
that.
He has a gold medal in the Olympics.
Yeah.
He has the 125
Yeah.
pound strap. He has the 135 pound strap. If he got the 145 pound strap, he'd be the
That'd be
greatest
insane.
combat.
No, that would be
Then I would
insane.
have to shut the fuck up about Valentina, and I would have to suck Cejudo's dick.
She needs
As
to.
much as I would hate to. You know what I mean? Like, if he won the 45 pound
Could you
strap,
imagine if she fought at
3
45?
division champion, and a gold medalist in the Olympics?
Aljamain will win the belt, and then he'll come out to fight Aljamain, and Aljamain will choke him out.
I believe that as well. I think Aljo
Yeah.
presents the most difficult stylistic matchup for anyone.
Why do you
I
think
think
they keep
so-
on? Why do you?
Why do you think no? Well, no, Peter Yan, respect to Peter Yan for just saying it.
Yeah.
That Aljo deserves the
Yeah.
title shot.
No, he's.
That's it. He's
Yeah.
like,
There
yo,
shouldn't even be a question.
there's no question.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know why there's a talk about it. Like, they need to
Because-
just. It's Aljo's
It
next in the line.
It
It's
wasn't
just what
even
they
right
do
that they
is
did
really
this
just-
fight.
I agree
I
with
know
you.
it was. Yeah,
It wasn't even right to do Aldo because they gave
And
Aldo a
Aljo's got
fake
a
win.
huge personality, big following, so it makes no sense. The whole theory that I always throw out there is they like to play their favorites, but no, Aljo deserves that more than anybody right now. They
On
have to make
Saturday,
that
though,
fight.
you got
What do we got?
Jack Hermanson and Kelvin Gastelum too. That's a
Ooh,
fight.
I like that fight. I like that
Who's
fight a
Calvin
lot.
Gastelum's twin? Who's that guy? Yes,
Oh, yeah, Nazareth.
it's just like him. He's like, holy shit.
But I like that. Jack Hermanson looks great.
Yeah,
He has
that'll
great
be a good
jiu-jitsu
fight.
too.
That'll be a lot of fun to watch.
Who's the main event? It's Benavides Figueroa. Can
Yeah.
Figueroa make 25?
I don't know.
He looked massive.
Yeah.
That third fight of the night is a fight I'm really
Mark-
excited.
Diakisi
Mark Diakisi is like a British real good striker. He's
At
a black dude
155.
that used to have the red.
Yes.
Oh,
the
Yes.
red,
I thought
logo.
that's what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
really good. And then
And
he's
who's
fighting.
fighting?
Rafael Fizzi.
He's fighting Rafa. And Rafa is one of my boys from Tiger Muay Thai.
Oh, yeah, I
Tiger
don't know.
Muay Thai is-
Oh.
He's a beast. He was like a big K1 fighter. He a huge stand-up pedigree, and he's really good.
At Tiger Muay Thai.
Yeah,
all right.
at
All
Tiger
right.
Muay Thai.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not that familiar with the Muay Thai. I'm all MMA.
Yeah, that fight, that third
That-
fight of the night,
Be fun to watch.
Rafa versus Mark Diakisi is going to be a great fight.
Kerry, this one's for you. Ariane Lipinski. Lipinski, I always say, but it's
Okay, yep.
Lipsky, right?
Mhm.
I don't know much about the girl she's fighting, Luana Carolina,
Me neither.
but Ariane Lipsky,
That'll be fun to
I've
watch.
seen her fight,
Yeah.
a bunch of times. Both Brazilians. See, I think that the
I think
Fight
there's-
Island
isn't
card.
there 2 girls on that card, or maybe 2 girl fights? I could be wrong.
Let's see what else is on here. There are 2 girl fights.
I thought there were, but that's not.
I would.
should
Brent
say
Jones is
that.
on the card, on the undercard. Davi Ramos on the undercard.
Oh yeah, that's the other
Is it-
55 fight.
That's really Davi Ramos, that's a
and
good
then
fight.
Armin.
Armin
Armin
Sarukian.
Armin is nasty. He's another guy I trained with at Tiger Muay Thai like
A lot
briefly.
of guys out of
That'll be
there.
fun to watch.
But Armin is
So this is a good card. Is this another fucking all-night
And then-
affair for me?
Armin's
Probably.
fighting
Oh,
Davi
shit.
Ramos, which is a Brazilian guy, real good jiu-jitsu, just real tough.
Davi
Brazilian.
Ramos, I
It's not a
love.
pay-per-view, right? This weekend? No.
Davi Ramos, great. The greatness
Yeah.
last fight. So I'm
Those-
trying to remember who he
Those
fought.
are my 2 sleeper fights.
Yeah. I mean, that Figueroa fight just keeps sticking in my head. That
Mm.
he's not going to make the freaking
No.
weight.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, if he doesn't make weight, I mean,
I think they just scrap him. I mean, you can't scrap the main event. But
No, they can't.
it's not right to make
that would be
Benavidez
so.
fight him again.
yeah, and you see
He's not
how it
gonna
went
want
last
to fight him
time.
though.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
Like that was like the worst thing.
I
Like
know.
a guy
That
doesn't make
was
weight,
horrible.
and he looked like way bigger.
you look my
Oh, he was
And then-
you look
huge.
big.
And then he knocked him out like
He
that.
was huge.
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
against Benavidez. Yeah,
And
And you
Yeah.
know what? Hats off to Benavidez for wanting to get it because there is always that risk when you get in with somebody that doesn't make weight. That
Oh yeah.
there's something that's going to happen. But as a fighter, no fighter's going to say no. Just like if he doesn't make weight, they're going to fight.
That's why you need a manager.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't-
why management's important because
I can't-
fighters are dumb. You
I
can't
believe
ask
they
us
did
what to
a
do.
immediate,
Management could be stupid, too.
immediate rematch,
Not
a
a
title fight when you didn't even make weight before that. I think that's ridiculous.
No, he shouldn't get the shot. He should have to
He missed
No.
weight.
He must.
prove that you can make
If
weight,
he
and
doesn't
then we'll
make
talk.
weight this time, I could see like.
Prove you can make weight.
And then we'll.
Give him another. You want? Okay, fine. We'll give you another fight. You prove you can make
Yeah.
weight. Make Benavidez fight a different guy for the title.
I don't think enough
Who's-
people. They don't do that enough. They're just like, oh, let's just give it. No.
Yeah,
Like, let's.
that fight doesn't make any sense to me because he
people
knocked
are
him out
again.
and he missed weight. So
Yeah.
it's like,
When rankings
and
meant
I think
something
that
at
guy
this
missed
stage.
weight by 5 pounds. I think Figueroa
Mhm.
missed by a
That
bunch.
was a lot.
I
It
remember
was a
him
lot.
missing by like a good amount. Whereas if he was
I-
trying hard to cut and then
Yeah.
stopped at that point,
It might have been like over 127. I know that. I just don't remember.
it may have been like
exactly what the number was.
129. Yeah, it was a lot.
It was
I remember
a lot.
it being like 4 or 5 pounds.
Like embarrassingly.
But remember, at 125, 4 pounds represents a 3% difference.
Yeah.
Right? The lower you are, the more every pound counts. So if you miss by 5 pounds at
Still a
125, that's way different than missing by 5 pounds at 185.
That's another like, did he try? Did he even try?
At 125 is like,
Yeah.
so that's rough. I mean, what do you think about the way one does it? You know,
I love it. They
How
got
they
it
do
down.
the
That's the way it should be.
hydration test. Because then we all move up one.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's really smart too.
You weigh in a weight class up fully hydrated. So I'm a 155er, so I weigh in at 170 fully hydrated, which
Which is
what happened. You know, that's how it is. I check in the fight week, the UFC on Tuesday at like 168, 169, fully like drinking 2 gallons of
Yeah.
water. So that's pretty much what I do. I take out that whole about 15-pound water weight cut that I do. Take that all
me
out
too.
that most people do.
Yeah.
everyone
But
does. Yeah,
unfortunately, I don't think the UFC or anywhere is gonna change to do it that way until like somebody dies.
No, they need
that's
to
why
too.
one did it.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
one did it, because someone died cutting weight, and then one changed all the rules for weight cutting. after that
It'll
happened.
eventually happen because it's starting to happen more and more. You
I don't
see
think
it
one
here and
drug
there.
tests either, though, for steroids. I don't know if they do.
I
I
don't know.
remember
if they
someone
do.
saying they don't.
Don't have USADA. Definitely don't have
No,
USADA.
they don't. I know that.
Which you know what, USADA has their good points and bad points. I question them too because there's.
I think USADA is shady, personally.
I do too.
I think they're shady.
I mean, does everybody like seeing John Jones fight? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy. He's the only fighter that's allowed to fight with shit in the system.
Yeah.
It
you
doesn't
get
matter.
picograms? You don't get no picograms, right?
No, I got no pico.
No pico-
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, how fucked up is that?
Who the fuck
And
gets
then, like, any ref he gets, they're like, oh, he could grab gloves, he could do
coke
this.
in
Like,
the
he could do
eyes?
whatever the fuck he wants. He's him, Conor McGregor, could do whatever they want.
Connor doesn't really fight super dirty, though.
Oh, he does. When he fought Khabib, Khabib kept on complaining
You can
the whole
only
time. He's
fight-
like, he was grabbing his gloves,
Yeah,
grabbing his shorts.
But that's when he's getting his ass kicked.
Still, though, you can't fucking do that. You
Jones is fighting dirty when
take
he's
the
winning.
beating. I'm
He's,
so bad. Take
he's
the
winning.
beating.
He's winning, and he's poking dudes in the eye.
Is that-
You know-
it's like, no,
I
it really
do-
does bother me that he could fight and have shit in the system. It really
Really?
does. I get offended by that personally.
Really?
It really upsets
I mean,
me.
come on. Like,
Because
what
look
other
at how
fighter-
badly they penalized TJ Dillashaw. Not that I don't think that they shouldn't have, because there was no way that could have been a tainted anything. They proved that was definitely.
See, that's why I don't trust USADA either. Why weren't they testing for EPO that New York closed showed
Really?
EPO? It wasn't.
All
It
of a
wasn't
sudden-
the UFC that caught them.
No,
Right? They didn't test for EPO, so it's almost like almost like a loophole for him. And then it's like, oh, don't worry, we don't test for. You test for EPO? No. Okay, great. Thank you for letting me know. And then he does EPO, and UFC's like, oh, we didn't know
Yeah.
because USADA doesn't test for him. Why? Why not?
it's crazy.
He looked like a cyclist, like a
Oh
bicyclist.
yeah, he did.
So I was like, oh, he's definitely on EPO. And then his
could
whole
see
team, Cody Garbrandt, had said he's been on the sauce.
Oh yeah,
Forever.
Cody was saying it forever.
That's what they were all saying.
Yeah. They were saying it for that allegation because they said he was too. While he was in the gym, he was nasty. Like even if he would just go in there, anybody. They said he would train and he would like go really hard to hurt you. Like they were like he just had a really fucked up personality.
He's almost done with his suspension, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, soon.
That was quick.
Yeah,
2 years.
2 years comes up fast.
Quick.
Yeah. I mean, especially since there's been drag time,
Comes by
downtime.
really fast. It's like you don't even. Think
2
about
years
it.
goes by. That's why I'm not a fan of rushing anything.
It'll be there January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Jan-
about serve
2
your
years.
suspension during the pandemic?
Right? How fucking good.
I mean, I wonder what kind of shit he's on. You see how big Borrachina looks?
Mm.
Paulo Costa? When he found out USADA wasn't coming around for a couple
He's like,
months,
fuck it.
Didn't I
that
heard,
dude just got massive. He should be like a fucking swimwear model. He is jacked.
I heard that they're bringing the Ultimate Fighter back, and it's going to be Stylebender and go ahead, Paulo Costa.
Wow.
Paulo Costa. The only problem with the Paulo Costa.
That's going to be awesome.
That'll be
I'm
pretty
going to
fun
watch
to watch.
that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that. I
That'll
love
be fun to
Paulo
watch.
Costa.
I
He's
love
fun.
Stylebender.
I love
That guy's
Stylebender.
amazing.
Yeah, he's got a good
I think
personality.
stylistically, Paulo Costa that Stylebender is a bad matchup for Paulo Costa because Paulo Costa's aggressive and Izzy's a good counter fighter.
He is.
So
Paulo
it could be a
Costa's-
bad fight for
He's still undefeated, right?
Mm-hmm.
it could be a bad fight for Paulo Costa because he might come in too aggressive and get clipped. And I had a dream about it, but I'd like to see Paulo Costa win. I like Paulo Costa. I'd
Yeah.
love to see him
After
win.
that Romero
Just-
fight, I became a believer in Paulo Costa.
Yo, that Romero fight was nuts.
Yeah.
I thought Romero beat Izzy. I know that fight had nothing going on,
Yeah.
but the only exchange that could have been leading to
I
a
think
finish,
unanimously, everybody hated that fight.
everyone hated that fight. But the only thing that happened in that fight that could have came close to a finish was when Yoel put him up against the cage and landed a few hard shots.
Yeah.
Otherwise, all Izzy did was kick his leg.
Mm-hmm.
And once he got tagged hard once, he said, F this. And he was like, I am not getting knocked out.
Yeah.
And then he outpointed him.
And then
Izzy won the fight, but it wasn't like an exciting fight or anything.
I
But
still gave
see
it to
where
Romero.
I see what you're saying.
Because the only thing that did anything in that fight came from Romero. You almost got to judge it like pride.
He didn't do enough
Yeah.
To take the title, you think that's what it is? I mean, shit, if freaking
look
they
at
didn't give the title to Holloway.
Well, look at
Then
Bellator
definitely.
with when Rory McDonald totally lost to who the fuck did he fight?
Fitch, and they made a draw.
Yeah, they gave
Draw.
it to
This way he
gave the
keeps the
belt to
belt.
Rory,
Yeah.
and even like you could see the disappointment on everybody's face. Even Rory was like,
No, it was a draw.
definitely, personally think that
It was.
John Fitch.
I mean, you
I
thought
love
John
it.
Fitch won? He
By a
fitched
little
him,
bit.
boring it out.
Yeah.
But Rory, he lost the step somewhere
Yeah.
there, and then he looked good.
What a shame
in
he
the
never won
Lima
a
fight.
PFL and PFL fucking.
Shuts down. Yeah,
That's such a shame.
that's what you get for not. Bellator tried to do the right thing with him.
Yeah.
Disloyalty will fuck you over.
It's true.
I don't know. Not that he's I mean, that's just how I see it. Like he's chasing the dollar.
Yes.
You know what? He wanted
Big
to
time.
win the million from Bellator. He did it. Then
Yeah.
he's like, I'm going to go win the million in PFL.
Yeah.
And then PFL, who knows what's going to happen with them, right? So
I see them post once in a while.
and you know what? Bellator paid him good for the
Yeah.
loss against Douglas Lima,
Mhm.
and that was a good fight. I love Douglas. I love that Douglas Lima got the mill though. See, Bellator is the right thing. You do the tournament,
do.
you win a mill.
I
Right?
like
Steamroller.
that.
I like the Bellator format. It's like, yo, these fights are all for fun. Unless you're in a tournament, then they're legit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what,
Whereas
they only
UFC
started a tournament at like 50 cents. I'll give somebody $1 million.
You need
Isn't that
sponsorship. You need
He is
sponsorship.
so about MMA. He's so
Yeah,
funny.
you
He
need
loves
sponsor.
it.
You need someone.
It's awesome. I
Yeah,
love it.
he
It's
loves
sponsor.
it.
I love it.
UFC is like
He's
there's
fun
no.
to see at the fight.
I love 50. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
There's
fun
no
to see
clear line to the title in the UFC.
that.
Like
People
you,
go crazy. He's right next to us.
oh yeah,
He's right there. Like, he's
yeah,
right
he
in front
does
of
like
us
the
every time.
fights, which I like.
I heard somewhere talking about Bellator that they're doing Michael Chandler versus Benson Henderson too.
Too, yeah.
Ooh.
That's a great
That's
fight.
a great fight.
I
Benson
was-
Henderson,
Henderson.
even
I'm
in
such
his
a fan.
losses, I mean, he has great fights.
I'm such a
You
fan.
know, I like
Just
Benson
because he's like had
That's-
such a great career from if you look at his old fights and
Is that for the title?
No, oh, wait, is it? Yeah,
I think so.
Who's
I think
is
Chan-
Chan-
no,
who's-
Pitbull's
No.
the champ.
Is he? Yeah.
Pitbull's the
okay.
2-division
You're the
champ in
Bellator
Bellator.
guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pitbull is the 2-division champ.
Yeah,
145,
So, yeah.
155.
Maybe
He
it's
knocked
title
out
contention
Chandler
or
quick
something.
too. But Chandler, I thought it was a quick stoppage. He clipped Chandler, and Chandler was going for the leg, and it looked
I want
like.
to see those guys fight UFC guys.
I mean, you do
I
look.
think
You got
that's
Vincent
it.
Henderson
It
over
needs
Definitely
to
there,
happen.
Chandler. I want to see.
Yeah,
It
there's
needs
certain-
to happen.
and I think Douglas Lima
But hey, Bellator takes care of those guys. So I mean,
He
take
was
care of
awesome.
them. You
They're-
got good
uh,
I'm
fights.
glad that they're getting these fights going.
I think
Yeah.
I think the production value too. I'm going to go on a limb here. Just the production value, I like better in Bellator.
Oh yeah, those walkouts.
I
I
like the
agree.
production value.
It's
like
kinda
the
old-
UFC
it's a
I
little
do
bit
agree
more
with
old
you.
school. UFC
Yeah.
was trying to. UFC got into Fox. They got the Reebok. They got
Yep.
the uniforms. They tried to put the
Make it more like a sports league.
Yeah. But and then Bellator is kind of like the old school,
I
like
love
the
it.
walkouts,
Yeah,
the
it's-
fire
I love
shows, the
it.
big screen.
Which I love.
It's almost like the WWE model.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah,
cool.
it's
I mean,
love
I
it.
like that
I love
personally because
I
I think
like
you
it,
need to show
Yeah.
the fighter more.
We like it because
Like,
you know
I don't
what?
want
It
you to just
keeps
rush the
us,
fighter
like,
out.
Something to look at. You know what I mean? It's like keeps us going.
I don't want you to just rush the
And
fighter
then there's
out.
something to talk about
I
after.
want- and it's not. Yeah. Also, if it's for entertainment, which all these fights are,
Yeah.
and UFC tries to
Absolutely.
make it like they're serious, you're not fucking serious because you have no line of title contention.
Exactly.
You have the guy that just lost the fight for the title. Shut the fuck up. You're not serious.
No, there's nothing.
You know what I
serious
mean?
about
So
it.
then you want to act like you're serious. At least Bellator tells you these fights are entertainment.
Yeah.
Be entertained. And if it's serious, we'll do a tournament. And if
Yeah.
it's not serious, believe me, we ain't paying no $1 million. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like it's not that serious. It's like these are fun fights.
No, but you could actually have sponsors and stuff. Bellator. It's completely
yeah,
different.
I
You could
think
have
it's going to
more
change
of
though for UFC with Venom.
Yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, Venom.
I
Venom's
think
stepping up
I
their
like that.
game.
That's exciting.
I heard they're paying a little more too,
I think
I
it's
hope
exciting.
which is great.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm
we're
the only one who was a little let down, being like, "Oh, Nike's gonna be awesome," and then Venom. It's a little, but I mean,
I get it. I get it.
yeah,
though.
Nike would have been.
Like, who doesn't want to
I was
say
hoping
your
for
name
Nike.
is on Nike gear? I mean, like that's
But
a badge of
and-
honor.
but Venom, I mean, everyone I talk to, like Venom's got great gear,
They do.
great like MMA.
They're selling you
They're
the gloves are
MMA
really nice.
apparel stuff,
Yeah.
and Nike doesn't really have the MMA stuff. So
No.
people are saying since they got Venom will be better with MMA
Mhm.
stuff. But like Venom's got to step their game up.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna see the
Especially for females and stuff. They're gonna
yeah
have to
the
really,
heat
Yeah.
that Reebok
Yeah.
took when Reebok first came in, and how everyone hated
Oh,
the Reebok
yeah.
stuff, and they got heat. So I think Venom will look at that.
like take their time with it
Look at
and
that
not
and be
just
like,
be
all
like,
right, we gotta
"Oh."
come out. We gotta come out like
Yeah.
with some like
yeah.
real nice
I'll
stuff.
equate that to something off camera and not get into politics over here, but I can equate that to something perfectly.
But hey, and if they pay
You can't
more,
stop.
I
You can't
did. I didn't bring it there. I stopped myself perfectly for
Fine.
once.
we're finding our dynamic of the podcast. I'm gonna be the one who like has to like reel everyone back in. That's
You
how
do.
I'm-
It's great.
I'm gonna come
We-
be like,
this
all right,
is a
back to the
dynamic.
fights.
Yeah, I do. I like it. We have fun.
I'll let you guys like
Even
do
training
your
is great.
thing, and then I'll bring it.
Oh,
bring it
training
back.
was great tonight. We had
Yeah,
Vinny
good
Bones down.
Yeah, Vinny Bones.
kid's a
He's
good
good,
kid.
man. He's
I
good.
I got good video.
That is the direct of everything Gabbard ever did.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So like,
And he's very good, very technical, very like he's great work. I want
Yeah.
to keep training with
I'm
him.
telling you, Gabbard. So when I train with him, I'm like,
You guys
that's,
all look good together, so it was good.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kerry, you're our press.
I am.
You're our press
I
No,
secretary.
am.
you got that work in today. I saw you.
No,
on
no,
the
Karen,
pads.
Thank you.
She's getting better.
I saw you on the pads. You
Yeah.
got it in.
Thank you.
She wants to
My
get an
favorite
amateur
is
fighter
the
one
cross.
day.
The cross kick.
100%.
I can.
Yeah.
I could.
I mean, listen, amateur. What is it? 3-2s. Fuck it. YOLO. It's good. You know what? You feel it. You train for
You'll
it.
know when you're ready.
That's
to
what
go.
like that
Yeah,
Root
I
to Warrior
said he'll
program
know and
is.
he'll tell me
Yeah,
when.
exactly.
Yeah.
I said
mean,
that. I'm like, you'll tell me when I'm ready.
And just remember, crazy age is different.
I know.
So since you're completely insane, I've noticed this for myself. That it just might have taken me long to mature in the game.
No, I do agree
Because
with
I'm
that.
so crazy.
I do agree with that. And
That's
I
what I
feel
tell
like
myself.
when I was younger, I wasn't even like, there was no way you could have gotten me. I was so uncoachable. I was like the craziest. I told you, I hated like practicing. I was the worst. Now, and I'm sober, so I could take things way more seriously and have fun with it. And, I'm like, okay, whatever you want. Just tell me to do it.
You're like now you
The
realize.
best was you coaching when we were rolling the other day. you go to the triangle, make me. Oh yeah, okay. The body triangle. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
You're
Because you
coachable.
got to be able to hear that too. And that's
hearing your corner is important.
Is huge.
Like knowing
you have
actually,
to have faith in who you train with. That's just one of the biggest parts.
You got to trust your training.
Yeah.
You got to trust your coaches.
Yep.
And that's what I always tell like guys who want to fight. You know, you got to put in the time and trust your coach when he says you're ready.
Or you're not. There's a reason.
Exactly.
Absolutely, there's something huge to be said for
a good
that.
coach that you
trust them, and you have to listen to the people you trust. Like I put good people around me, and then trust them.
Yeah.
Like if Ray says no,
important.
if Ray says no to a fight, I'm like, that's it. All right, I'm like, listen, I'm stupid. I'm emotional. I'm ego driven. I was like, you say no. My manager Joe says no. I'm like, that's it. If I get 2 no's, it's a no.
I tell
that's it. I'm like, that's that.
It's something to be said, and there's something super important about, especially as a fighter, surrounding yourself around the right people. You couldn't have a more important thing to have around you is a good group dynamic.
That's why I wonder about Mike Perry's crew, because
what crew?
That's what I'm saying.
What crew? It's him and his girlfriend, and last time it was him and his fiance.
Yo, his girlfriend though is 2-0 in coaching because he knocked that dude out the bar, and she was there.
So maybe it's like she's the magic behind the man.
She boosted him.
She's like the.
But no, like where's his corner? Right? He was like, oh, he's talking shit pretty much about his crew, and I'm like,
I don't understand that because I've been there. Fusion XL is a great gym. They got great coaches there.
I know.
Yeah, Fusion. It's in Orlando, and
they
got
okay.
And that's
so you're familiar with that crew, Steamroller training down.
The head guy there is Julian Williams. He's a real good black belt. He's a pro fighter too. And then they got Jacare there.
Oh.
They got a lot of good fighters there. They got Phil Rao. Spartan, Alex Nicholson trains there.
I know that.
They got a really good crew of fighters.
I know
it's just Mike Perry, to be honest.
She's good too, Hannah. She's in the UFC.
She's good too.
Yeah, she's tough.
And he was training there, and he's part of their crew. I think they're all still friends too. But then shit happens. So I wish he would get back with the Fusion XL, and hopefully they could help him like mentally.
Is he hard to coach, that guy? Like,
that could be a big problem.
I'm gonna say yes.
I think
he needs that to be the issue.
Hard to stick to the script. Doesn't want. I mean,
you have so much other people that you have to coach that are doing, and you can't have one guy over there doing whatever the fuck he wants, and everybody. I mean, like, look, if you have to do for one, you got to do for the other. So it's
have you ever seen a fight at that level? Just have your girlfriend coach you.
Never.
Like I've never seen that before. Never. I mean, he did good, but it was Mickey. Mickey
Gold
was good.
No, but it wasn't just her.
It wasn't just her. He had the team. Yeah, no, I've seen a guy's girlfriend in the corner.
Mike Perry's done that before.
Oh,
with
just one
his
girl.
ex-girlfriend.
No, but that was with the team.
Fiance or whatever.
It wasn't just the girl.
But even before he was in the UFC, I know that he's had a fight in like the Bahamas where he just goes there with the Platinum Princess at the time who went and cornered.
Platinum Princess. He has a name for his girlfriend.
That was his old.
Yeah,
we're not getting the Mike
Fiance
Perry
or
drama.
whatever.
Let's not get into Mike Perry drama. He has enough drama that we don't need to bring up his
Mike Perry, we're rooting for you, bro. Get back to Fusion XL. They'll get you right.
Put down the bottle. Less drinking.
More of that.
More
pot for you.
No weed in fight camp, so you can be aggressive like you are. Right?
And possibly take a test for bipolar because you might have it.
Oh, that dude's bipolar as hell. I'm bipolar, you're bipolar. Yeah. He's bipolar.
Crazy recognized.
He might be tripolar.
Crazy recognized.
Tripolar.
He's a different. He's next level.
Dude, the corner work was the funniest shit I've ever seen. She's like, "What do you want me to do?"
He was like,
"Put it on my back."
Put it on my back.
She's like, "Does that feel good?" He's like, "Yeah."
That was pretty funny.
You're doing great, babe. Babe, you're doing great.
You're awesome.
My wife was watching it with me, and she knows like everything about fighting, Debbie. So she's watched a million fights, right? And she's been around for like 15 years since we've been together. So she's like, I think I'd be helpful. She's like, I still wouldn't want to fucking do that. She's like, I think I'd actually be helpful. She's like, I still wouldn't want to fucking do that shit. That girl, poor girl, the spotlight's on you. So everyone's watching her. You're doing great, babe. I'm proud of you.
He looks so
like he likes that though.
He looks like a fish out of water.
He loves that ego stroking.
He does.
If it was up to him, he would have got a blowjob right there. If it was up to like Perry, in between rounds.
You've now entered the manimal
zone. You've now entered the manimal zone. Because if it was up to fucking Mike Perry, he'd be in there with 3 bitches fanning him and shit. And that's how it is in his head. In Mike Perry's head, he's just like on the corner is like a throne. He's just like, yes.
That is so funny. So true.
He felt so good in that fight. His balls were being stroked so much in that fight. That's what he said too. He was like, I need someone to just stroke my ego out.
It worked. I mean,
I guess it worked. Maybe there's something to that. But I do better. You know how I do good? When they just constantly shit talk me the whole fucking time.
There you go. Almost
That's
like
how
they
I
get
do
angry.
good. You remember?
They get you
I like
angry.
when they just constantly shit talk me. When they're like, that technique will never work. Not you. Other guys in the dressing room.
That's hysterical.
Who's the fighter here? That shit won't work. You fucking, I'm not a fan. I don't know, dog. I'm like, what the fuck? My own guys.
So in my corner,
My own guys are tearing me
my own
apart.
guys tearing me apart.
They'll tear you down.
No,
Make
it
you
is-
better. No, it's true.
I always have Matt Arroyo in my corner, and we've done this thing. It's called Intensity. It's like kind of like a mental.
That's your
thing for
boy's
combat.
thing, right?
Eric Parker.
Eric likes
Shout out Eric Parker.
Shout out to Eric Partner. He's a fun dude to party
Eric
with.
Parker is the man, and he started with Intensity, and it's kind of just keeping your brain in the cortex where you're thinking, you got your game plan, you're not emotional because you're on when you get to the emotional part of your brain, that's where your technique goes out the window, your cardio goes out the window, you get emotional in there, and
Makes a lot of sense.
and in corners, in between rounds, every time Arroyo does like a little math question for me, just like 6 + 4, so, something like right before I get in the corner, he lets me breathe for like maybe like recovery breaths for like 10-15 seconds, and he'll go 7 + 4, and then in my last fight he did 7 + 4, and I go 10.
They might have talked about that because actually, as a matter of fact, I think that the commentators talked about
might have been
that.
after.
Somebody did, and they were like, and he said 10.
It might have been
7 + 4.
after I took that flying knee from Bob Ross.
I can't believe when they said that because they did. They brought that up,
But-
and I didn't remember
But the
who it
thing
was.
is, and I go 10, and he goes wrong. Think again, and then I had to go, and I took a breath, and then like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and just doing that, going there thinking about it, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, it gets my mind into the cortex, which means now I'm ready for coaching, and then after that I thought about it. I was like 11, I'm in the cortex, and then he started his coaching. And it's a cool thing.
I like that.
People
It
ask
makes a
me,
lot of sense.
but I'll never let that down. Somebody like tweets like they just asked Bull in the corner what 7 + 4 is, and he said 10.
That was literally like it was just the thing.
You
of
were
the
close
night.
though. You were
Like,
trying to
you know
get there.
No,
It
that was
so
that was a hard
funny.
one, yo.
Yeah. That's a hard one after you got knee.
Come
It's
on.
like, can't you just give me 7 +
Yeah,
5?
6 + 4. Give me something to like something.
10. Can I get an
Now
even
you gotta
number?
make me think about it.
3
Yeah.
+ 2.
Ew.
Hey, it got the job done. Got me to the cortex.
That
We got
is
the coaching in.
hysterical.
We went out. We won that 3rd round, which won me the fight.
You know,
Yeah,
I
that's
like
true.
that.
That's
I
the
like
truth.
that a lot because
'Cause you got
are right with
emotional.
the emotional part.
Right, you
are
start
right
getting
about
emotional.
that.
The way that Parker always used to say it is, you see a street fight, and I'm sure you take both 2 street fight. They're both athletes. I'm sure you put them like in front of a bag, and you show them how to throw like a 1-2. They could look pretty good. They'll do like straight punches, 1-2s. They wouldn't get tired. They could maybe do it for like 3 minutes. But you put them in a street fight, you see them. They're standing against you. They got the stress. They got people watching. They're like, oh shit, I'm gonna fight. And then they start throwing these windmill punches, and they get tired in 30 seconds. It's because they're emotional. Their technique goes out the window. They're freaking out, and it's
That would have been great for Ronda Rousey against Holly Holm.
yeah.
Such a dick.
She could have pulled that fight out. She came out way too emotional
I
in the
definitely
second
think
round.
she could have, and I think she was emotional well before the fight. Like you've never seen her react the way she did with that whole fight week leading up. That was like so
No, she played
uncharacteristic.
it up. She liked to play it up.
But she never like got funny about the other fighter doing or saying something. And I forget if Holly Holm is whatever she did, and Ronda was like, "Shit, blah 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 blah." I was like, "Whoa, when do you baby
Yeah,
out?"
you gotta
should-
have control of your
Yeah.
emotions. That's
I
one
mean,
a huge part about
Yeah.
Anytime
being a
I
martial
felt
artist.
being a martial artist, can you control your emotions when it really counts? Like everyone wants to talk about meditating on the beach and all that bullshit. It's
Yeah.
easy to meditate
Yeah.
on the beach. It's nice.
It's nice.
It's nice to
fun.
do that. But can you be mindful when someone's trying to rip your head off and you're tired and you're hurt? And yeah, it's like, then can you be mindful? That's when it really counts.
Can you be
Otherwise,
honest?
it's just masturbation.
Yeah.
Like it's just you're on the beach, meditate, great. Where's the Okay, that's good. You have to
Can you
start
apply
there.
it?
Yeah, you got to train in the gym,
Can you
Right,
apply
there's
it?
no
Can
pressure,
you like?
right?
It's almost like collecting yourself in between.
and it's hard to keep it composed
Mentally, yeah.
because it starts to get up in there. And I mean, think
And
about it.
especially if
Anytime
like,
anything's come away from you,
what
you
about
started to get emotional about it.
And
what
it
about
comes with
DC
experience.
when they said in the corner when he was like, "How am I doing?" and they were like, "You're losing," and it's like, you came out
No, that's not what happened.
I thought that's
He-
what they said. I don't remember exactly how it was said, so please bring it in.
Okay, so what happened? DC goes back to his corner,
Yeah.
and his corner's like, "Be careful. He's looking for X, Y, Z." When I forget what he was
Yeah.
looking for, he was like, "He's looking to do this, this, and this." And DC got cocky. He looked at him. He's like, "Am I losing? Like, why are you telling me this? I know
Yeah.
what the fuck I'm doing."
That's
So
how it was.
he, first of all, when your ego shows up like that,
No,
Carrie, I've
literally, they called
been
him. They
there.
said right after that, it was like a whole.
because he's
different
like,
person
because he's
came
already
out.
like, I'm winning.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm fucking, and
That's so.
and he
funny.
was
He beat
beating
himself.
Stipe.
Almost like he beat.
He's
himself.
right. He
It's
was
almost like he
winning.
beat himself.
He's like, oh, am I
In that
losing? He's like,
respect,
why are you
yeah.
telling me? It's
Oh,
like
when
you,
he said that, he started.
Like he
that's
couldn't
one that
take
he
the
lost.
criticism
Yeah.
or whatever they were saying.
because
I got you.
he's in the corner and you come back to your corner. He wins the round. Let's say you go out, you win the round, and now you come back to your corner and they're like, yo, Steamroller, keep your right hand up more. You're like, I didn't even get hit. You'd be like, yeah, but listen, keep your
Still,
right. He's looking
yeah.
for it. And you'd be like, am I fucking losing? You'd be like, whoa, you just got out of control.
Yeah.
Right? You're like, what?
Yeah.
Am I? Why are you telling me
Yeah.
this? Am I
No, I
losing?
get
He's
that,
like,
yeah.
yo, I'm feeling myself.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm kicking this guy's ass. You know, he's like, he thought he was going to beat me the second time. Now
I
I'm
get
kicking
that.
your ass.
I get that.
So he got
Yeah.
his balls
Emotional.
up,
Yeah. I
and
get
then
that.
that leads to defeat.
And you know what? You're right. It does every time, and not even just for a fight. And it's almost like you're beating yourself. I've seen it. I've been there on a table.
That's why I
Beat
think
yourself
fighting
quick.
is the microcosm of life.
Yeah.
So what you
It's like
see
the
in
art
the
of war.
fight,
You have to keep your composure.
that's the art of everything, right? What you do in the fight, that's
Yeah.
like a heated little event.
Yeah.
But if you extrapolate the things you learn in the fight, then it becomes meaningful. That's why all the great martial artists become, at the end of their life, they're philosophers. Because they're like, oh, what I learned from fighting, seeing all this shit, is the secrets of the universe. We'll get there. We'll get
Yeah,
So-
you're gonna be a philosopher, madam.
I thought I already was. I
yeah.
thought I already was.
No, you need to get back to the fit histories. Those are
You like the
awesome.
fit histories?
I love the fit histories.
Me too.
Oh, you do like the fit histories?
I
Oh,
love to do all
I
that
was
stuff.
going to do one next. I was going to do one about courage and talk about Sigurd. He slays the dragon. He gets Odin's sword.
Do
But
it. I think
it's
you told
partly
me about it.
mythical. Yeah,
I
really.
like that though.
Sigurd's story really comes from a Germanic
I
history
like
of
Beowulf.
the Beowulf's the best.
Yeah.
You know Beowulf because Beowulf is the combination of the two sacred Odinic heroes. He's a bear and a wolf, a berserker and an Ulfheimer.
Okay.
So Odin has two sacred warriors that fight for him. One a berserker, and they go bare-chested, shirts off. That's like the one with the axe. and
Everybody
you're-
hated that movie too, right?
What?
Beowulf.
Beowulf.
Yeah, everybody hated
It
that. I
was
got a lot of
little.
hate.
I liked it.
I did
I
too.
liked it.
I got a lot
It
of
was a
hate
little
though.
weird. It was like kind of like computer animated.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good movie. I
CGI.
liked it.
If it wasn't for knowing the book so well, I would have liked it even more. But
Yeah.
so Beowulf, the bear aspect, that fucking Viking berserker, and then his other warriors of Heidner are like special forces, more stealthy. So Beowulf is the ultimate Odinic hero. Yeah, never
The two
scared.
sides of it.
Which he could be a psychopath though, because he's never scared.
He could
ever.
be a psychopath.
He's never
He could be a
scared.
The monster fights with no armor. I fight with no
I
armor.
fight with no
Just
armor,
gets
yeah.
naked.
Yes. Wasn't it John Voight? I know he was in it and got naked in the beginning, and I was like, what
It was
the
no,
fuck?
not he didn't play Beowulf.
I
I,
don't know.
forget
He
who
was in
plays
the
Beowulf.
beginning and
But
got
yeah,
naked
the
really
peace
fast.
fights with no and he Kimura's him. So
Yes.
in the mythology,
Grendel.
Beowulf catches Grendel in the Kimura and rips his arm off and makes him bleed to death.
Like that.
Beowulf has great skills. If Beowulf fights
Like
the
that. Your arm up and beat you,
yeah, and then he fights Grendel's mother.
right?
Yeah,
Which is what he
effective.
was saying.
Yeah, he just great jujitsu.
Something I could get into.
Yeah, great unarmed combat. He's like, okay, if this, he's like, why doesn't he use weapons? So
Yeah.
he's smart too. That's why he's the ultimate combination. But yeah, Beowulf's great.
Yeah.
And then he fights the dragon when he's like 75.
Yeah.
So people hate on that dragon shit, but let me tell you, there's some stuff out there that if you fought it, you would think you fought a dragon. If he came
Absolutely.
across like an alligator,
Yeah.
you know, he'd
We're
be
in the
like,
animal zone now.
now
Well,
we're in the
we're
animal
there,
zone.
you know, like,
Yeah.
listen, there's so many things.
He
that,
says
like,
he fought a giant. Okay, what if he came across like you know, I don't
But
know.
they found
Who's,
giant fucking
Bjorn?
skulls and shit.
What if you came across that guy from Game of Thrones, Bjorn, the guy who
Yeah.
plays the mountain?
Yeah.
You come across that dude, you're like, yo, I fought a giant. That guy's 6'10",
Yeah.
500 pounds. Well, who'd you fight, dude? They have giants with
That's a
them.
giant.
You know, certain things you see, you're like, he fought a giant. It's like, no, dude, that guy's 6'10". He's
But
He's
they
a
have
giant.
found giant, like,
Oh,
skeletons.
giant
They
skeletons.
found them.
well, these
so
big boys. You ever
there
go to
was
Ripley's,
giants.
believe it or not, and they have the
Yeah.
the
what
biggest
about the
man's.
elongated skulls? We're gonna get way into
We're gonna get
conspiracy.
to it too, guys. Let's end it there before we get too crazy. I'll do
We're gonna
another
start
fit
bringing
history.
up all that shit. The
Thanks for joining us. We went to the animal zone a little bit, guys. That was fun. Great training today too.
Good stuff.
yes.
Okay, good shit.
Next week.
Next week. That was good.
Reward.
Okay, then.